In this video, we're showing you how to install Boost Auto's Lumastep M1, our one-of-a-kind light-up running boards for 2018 and newer 4-door Jeep Wrangler and Gladiators. Lumastep M1 from Boost Auto is the next upgrade for your Wrangler or Gladiator. Built with premium components and constructed with 6000 series Aerospace grade aluminum, you won't just see Lumastep outshine the rest, you'll feel it too, every step of the way. Light up the night with Lumastep, brightening up your path clear as day. Lumastep features premium lighting functions allowing full customization on your Jeep. Build your set out and put in your order on our website today. Get your Lumastep M1 running boards and step up your game. This procedure applies to 2018 and newer Jeep Wrangler 4-door JLU, as well as 2020 and newer Jeep Gladiator JT trucks. To check fitment, availability, and to purchase this or any other product for your vehicle, go to boostauto.com. If this doesn't fit your specific vehicle, don't worry, we've got a separate Boost Auto install video just for you. Your Lumastep M1 kit will come in 2 boxes, the running board kit and the hardware kit. The running board kit will contain your running boards with the integrated lights and modules. The kit will also contain the main driver and passenger side harnesses, as well as supplementary parts depending on what you've optioned for. You can either go with our simple plug-and-play adapter, which connects directly to your headlight harness to add lighting features to your boards, or use our Hardwire adapter to tap to the wires at the headlight directly. If you option for rock light functionality, you can add our rock light harness that integrates with both our plug-and-play adapter and our Hardwire adapter. The harness also comes with a switch that you can install anywhere on your dash. Adding rock light is a great way to ensure high visibility in the dark, both while driving or parked. Be sure to add rock light when you're building out your running boards. Your hardware kit will contain the driver's side primary and secondary brackets, as well as the passenger side primary and secondary brackets. The hardware kit will also contain all washers and fasteners needed for your installation. Please note, Wranglers and Gladiators will both have the same amount of brackets. As we progress through this installation, we'll call out specific hardware used every step of the way. Here's a complete tool list for your reference. You can pause here to collect them, then let's proceed with the installation. In this video, we're going to be using our shop lift to better show the procedure. The entirety of the procedure can easily be done on the ground. All the steps shown while on the lift will be the same as doing it on the ground. For this install, the mounting procedure is the same on both sides of the vehicle, with the exception of the labeling of the brackets. Here are your mounting points for your vehicle. On Wranglers, there will only be 3 mounting locations. One closest to the front, the second near the middle of the vehicle, followed by a third mounting point located at the rear of the vehicle. For Gladiator installations, there are 4 possible mounting locations. Please use the one closest to the front, the second near the middle of the vehicle, followed by a final mounting point located at the very rear of the vehicle. Be sure to skip the third available mounting location and go all the way to the rear of the truck and use that location as a mounting point for the third bracket. We'll start the installation on the passenger side. Take the primary bracket labeled PF for passenger front and mount it at the first mounting point. Take a 13mm hex bolt with a lock and flat washer attached to it and insert it into the hole at the bottom of the vehicle. Tighten down the bracket to the body of the vehicle, but be sure not to tighten it all the way down as we'll be doing further adjustments down the line. Then, take the secondary bracket labeled PF for passenger front and line it up at the pinch weld of the vehicle. Insert a 10mm hex bolt with a flat washer through the open hole on the pinch weld and through the secondary bracket. On the other side of the bolt you just inserted, place a 10mm flat washer and a lock nut onto the bolt. Take another 10mm hex bolt with a flat washer and insert it through the other open hole on the pinch weld and through the secondary bracket. Like before, on the other side of the bolt you just inserted, place a 10mm flat washer and lock nut onto the bolt. Line the 2 brackets up at the bottom of the brackets and insert a 16mm hex bolt with a 16mm flat washer on it through both brackets. Then, on the other side of the bolt, attach a 16mm flat washer and a 17mm lock nut to the bolt. Next, move over to the second mounting point located near the middle of the vehicle. The second mounting bracket will go on exactly like the first. Take the primary bracket labeled PC for passenger center and mount it at the second mounting point. Like before, take a 13mm hex bolt with a lock and flat washer attached to it and insert it into the hole at the bottom of the vehicle. Tighten down the bracket to the body of the vehicle, but be sure not to tighten it down all the way as we'll be doing further adjustments down the line. Take the secondary bracket labeled PC for passenger center and line it up at the pinch weld of the vehicle. Then, insert a 10mm hex bolt with a flat washer through the open hole on the pinch weld and through the secondary bracket. On the other side of the bolt you just put in, place a 10mm flat washer and a lock nut onto the bolt. Take another 10mm hex bolt with a flat washer and insert it through the other open hole on the pinch weld and through the secondary bracket. On the other side of the bolt you just inserted, place a 10mm flat washer and a lock nut onto the bolt. Align the two brackets at the bottom of the brackets and insert a 16mm hex bolt with a 16mm flat washer on it through both brackets. Then, on the other side of the bolt you just inserted, attach a 16mm flat washer and a 17mm lock nut onto the bolt. Next, move over to the third and final mounting point located near the rear of the vehicle. The third mounting bracket will go on exactly like the first two. Take the primary bracket labeled PR for passenger rear and mount it at the third mounting point. Take a 13mm hex bolt with a lock and flat washer attached to it and insert it into the hole at the bottom of the vehicle. Tighten down the bracket to the body of the vehicle, but be sure not to tighten it down all the way, as we'll be doing further adjustments down the line. Then, take the secondary bracket labeled PR for passenger rear and line it up at the pinch weld of the vehicle. Insert a 10mm hex bolt with a flat washer through the open hole on the pinch weld and through the secondary bracket. On the other side of the bolt you just inserted, place a 10mm flat washer and a lock nut onto the bolt. Take another 10mm hex bolt with a flat washer and insert it through the other open hole on the pinch weld and through the secondary bracket. On the other side of the bolt you just inserted, place a 10mm flat washer and a lock nut onto the bolt. Align the two brackets at the bottom of the brackets and insert a 16mm hex bolt with a 16mm flat washer on it through both brackets. Then, on the other side of the bolt you just put in, attach a 16mm flat washer and a 17mm lock nut to the bolt. Once again, tighten down all the bolts, but hold off on tightening them all the way since we'll be doing further adjustments down the line. With all mounting brackets successfully installed on the passenger side, go ahead and install the mounting brackets on the driver's side of the vehicle in the same way. Remember, the brackets on the driver's side will be labeled DF for driver front, DC for driver center, and DR for driver rear. Now we're ready to mount our Lumastep M1 running boards to the brackets. Make sure you're mounting the correct running board on each side. The Lumastep M1 plate as well as the integrated module on each board should face towards the front of the truck. Here, we're shown the steps on the passenger side. Before mounting, flip your board over. Install 6 T-bolts to the board, 3 on each track. Align the T-bolts roughly to the positions of the brackets, then drop your running board onto the brackets. Go ahead and guide all the T-bolts through the holes on the brackets. Then, secure each bolt with a flat washer, a lock washer, and a nut. Use a 10mm socket to thread in the nut further, though hold off on tightening completely for now. At this time, you can slide your board forward or backwards to your desired preference. Once you've got your board where you want it, fasten everything down. Then, perform the same steps on the driver's side. Ensure the board is aligned with the passenger side before securing all the fasteners down. With everything installed, we can move on to routing the wiring harnesses to our Lumastep M1 running boards. Start by opening the hood. On the passenger side of the vehicle, disconnect the battery by removing the negative terminal. Then, disconnect the auxiliary battery as well. To disconnect the auxiliary battery, loosen this nut on the battery terminal and move it out of the way. We'll start on the passenger side. Make sure to use the main harness with the power and ground terminals on this side. Route the straightened out metal piece up from the bottom of the fender liner and all the way inside of the engine bay. Secure the end of the 2 black connectors to the straightened out metal piece. Once secured, proceed with routing the harness down to the running board modules. Make sure the harness is out of the way from any heat or moving components. Remove the tape from the connectors and plug them both into the running board module. The connectors are different sizes and will go to the corresponding slots on the module. Be sure to secure the harness out of sight. In the same way, route the driver's side main harness. The end with the 2 black connectors will go to the running board, and the end with the black receiving connector will go to the driver's side engine bay. Now, back on the passenger side wheel well area, locate these 5 bolts and a trim clip inside the fender liner. Start by removing the trim clip with a trim tool. Next, remove these 3 visible bolts in the fender liner. Once those have been removed, you will have 2 more bolts. These can be found at these 2 access holes on the fender liner. Then proceed with removing them. Carefully pull out the fender from the vehicle. Unplug the turn signal inline connector from the vehicle in order to completely separate the fender from the vehicle. Next, use a trim tool to free the connector from the body of the vehicle. Feed the black receiving connector on the running board harness down into the engine bay area. Finally, repeat these same steps on the driver's side of the vehicle. Please note, on the driver's side of the vehicle, you will not need to remove the fender. You can access the turn signal connector easily from inside the engine bay. We'll first show you how to install the plug-and-play adapter that you can option for your running boards. Please note, if you did not option for our plug-and-play adapter, your kit will come with our Hardwire adapter instead. For plug-and-play installation, please follow these next steps. The turn signal connector on this vehicle is a 6-pin connector. Starting on the passenger side of the vehicle, insert the plug-and-play adapter into the connector. Then, attach the black receiving connector to the 6-pin connector attached to your plug-and-play adapter. Resecure the connector to the vehicle with a trim clip. Move over to the driver's side of the vehicle. On the driver's side, installing the plug-and-play adapter will look like this. Use a trim tool to free the connector from the body of the vehicle. Disconnect the 6-pin turn signal inline connector. Insert the plug-and-play adapter into the connector. Then, attach the black receiving connector to the 6-pin turn signal inline connector attached to your plug-and-play adapter. Reconnect the connector back into the vehicle. If you option for our Hardwire adapter, please follow these next steps. The connector on this vehicle is a 6-pin turn signal inline connector. Starting on the passenger side of the vehicle, be sure to cut back some of the tape so you can tap further up on the wires. Start by tapping the pin 2 for turn signal. Looking at the top end of the connector with the connector facing down, pin 2 is located second from the right. Use the provided red T-tap and press until it clicks in place. Go ahead and take the red and yellow wire from your Hardwire adapter and connect it to the T-tap here. Next, if you option for running light, tap to pin 4. Looking at the top end of the connector with the connector facing down, pin 4 is located third from the left. Use the provided red T-tap and press until it clicks in place. Go ahead and take the blue wire from your Hardwire adapter and connect it to the T-tap here. Next, we'll take the black connector on the Hardwire adapter and connect it to the black receiving connector from the main harness. Once done, go ahead and install the connector back to the vehicle. Then, repeat the same steps on the driver's side of the vehicle. You can now take the white 2-pin pass-through connector on the driver's side and connect it to the white 2-pin connector on the passenger side. The rock light function overrides any existing function when activated and outputs a solid white light. This will remain on until you switch it off and cannot be overridden by functions such as turn signal or running light. If you did not option for rock light, you can skip to the next section. If you did option for rock light but didn't purchase our rock light harness, you will simply need to run a 12-volt power feed to the white wire on the plug-and-play or Hardwire adapter. If you have an existing rock light or auxiliary switch, you can use that, or any 12-volt trigger will do. If you did option for our rock light harness, please follow these next steps. Your harness will have this power terminal, 2 long white wires that'll go to the headlight, and your switch. Starting on the driver's side, go ahead and grab one of the white wires and route it down towards the connector. Regardless of whether you have our plug-and-play adapter or our Hardwire adapter, the white wire from the Rocklight harness will connect to the white wire with the butt connector. Connect the white wire from the Rocklight harness to the white wire on your adapter. Once done, go ahead and install the connector back to the vehicle. Then, pass the other white wire as well as your power terminal to the passenger side and repeat those steps on the passenger side. Pass the red and white wires with the Rocklight switch to the inside of the cab. Tape the red and white Rocklight wires to the straightened out metal piece. Then, guide the metal piece through the firewall to the inside of the cab. Inside of the cab, continue to pull the wires through. Locate a suitable spot for the Rocklight switch and drill a hole into the dash. Once the hole is drilled, install the Rocklight switch. Be sure to connect the white wire to slot 1 and the red wire to slot 2. Bring over the previously removed fender to the passenger side of the vehicle. Plug back the turn signal inline connector from the vehicle. Once that's all plugged in, go ahead and reconnect the fender to the body of the vehicle. Start by reinstalling the 2 bolts in the 2 access holes in the fender liner. Reinstall the 3 visible bolts in the fender liner. Reinsert the trim clip. Let's continue by connecting our passenger side main harness to power and ground. At your battery, located on the passenger side, flip open the battery cover and unscrew the nut at the positive terminal. Then, connect the red power wire here. If you option for Rocklight, the power wire from that harness will also connect here. Secure with the previously removed nut and place the battery cover into place. Then, at the negative terminal of the battery, reconnect the cable. The terminal itself will have a secondary stud. You can connect your ground wire along with the auxiliary battery ground here, like you did at the positive terminal. Simply remove the nut and install the eyelet and secure it in place with the previously removed nut. Once everything is connected, test to make sure the running boards are operational. Finally, secure and tuck any excess wires to the vehicle out of the way of any heat or moving components. Congrats on completing your install! Boost Auto's Lumastep M1 light-up running boards can be purchased on our website at boostauto.com. Boost Auto also offers a wide range of parts and accessories for your truck or SUV. To stay up to date on new product releases and more videos just like this, subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's all for now. Catch you in the next one.